start talking soon. I just want to get everything all set up here, looking like it's at least somewhat put together. I haven't never really done a stream in quite a while. I think it's been like probably like 2 years or something. Something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. Just want to do this real quick. Where is it? Just send something real quick. All right. Why is that show I have notifications? Whatever. Anyways, I guess we could talk about the UDS. Can everyone hear me? Am I audible? I hope everyone can hear me. That'd be great if everyone can. Let me know if I am able to be heard. That'd be great. I'm actually gonna try and do this just so I can confirm, because it doesn't show me on here. I haven't streamed really on YouTube in a while, and when I did it last time, I did it on my phone, and now I'm doing it from my computer. So I don't know how different it's going to be. Let's see. See, that's so weird. See, it says that I'm streaming, but it doesn't, if I try and go on it on my phone, it doesn't show it. Maybe it will in a second. Maybe I'm just doing this wrong. Let's see. Oh no, I can, okay, it's working. Never mind. We're good. Okay, cool. Yeah, so, yo, what's up? How goes it? We're talking UDS, we're talking fun Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Not that the UDS looked all that fun. From being perfectly honest, it was pretty boring watching, nothing but mirror matches pretty much all day. But yeah, I was supposed to go to a regional today, and it's like a 45-50 minute drive from my house, and I went to bed at like 3 in the morning almost, and was like, yeah, no, I'm not waking up. So I just chose not to go to the regional. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that like Snake Eyes literally was all that I basically saw and watched. And it was like really, really, really boring. Like really boring. And it goes back to the same thing that like everyone talks about all the time. They're like, oh, well, you know, tier 0 formats are so skillful. The mirror match is skillful. It's like, yeah, okay, the mirror match is skillful, but what about every other deck that you want to play? You know, yeah, I sat there and I just kind of had it as background sound because like it just got boring. It just got really boring. I actually sat there and ended up like thinking of decks that I could put together that like can kind of half-ass counter um, like Snake Eye and Fire King, and it like I said, it's half-ass. It's not even like it can do that well. It's actually what I have right here on the table. I haven't flipped it up yet because of waiting for more people to hop in on the stream. But like literally, I'm watching this tournament and I'm bored out of my mind, and I'm making decks that aren't even that good just because I'm bored, trying to somehow stay sane watching the same deck play every single round. Just like when like tier was, you know, the tier 0 deck. Now I think that tier is a super fair deck, and I think tier is something that's like perfectly fine. But back when it was tier 0, I was like, yeah, no, this is a bit of a problem. Um, but like now that I'm seeing this Fire King and Snake Eye stuff, like the Fire King stuff, I don't have a problem with. I think the Fire King support is really really cool. Um, the Snake Eye and Sinful Spoil stuff, like that's just fucking crazy, dude. Um, I was explaining to my wife that like, you know, she doesn't play card games at all. Like she has no concept of like card games. She knows that I play them. She understands that I have like some cool stuff and that I've done well in like a good amount of tournaments and everything. But like she doesn't understand how to play them. She doesn't have an interest in how to play them or anything. Um, but like I told her we're going into what we call a tier 0 format, and I kind of just explained how like the best deck right now is basically like $1,200, and she's like, "Oh my god, like that's crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, like that's you know what tier 0 formats usually mean is that there's just like one super expensive deck, and if you're not playing that or the deck that directly counters it, there's like no point in playing. And if you get that best deck, you have to be going to like all these major events to make it worth it and get your time out of it. And I just don't do that anymore. Like I'll go to locals and I'll play in locals every once in a while. But even that I haven't done like a couple months since we moved into our house. So yeah, but yeah, salads is getting expensive now too. I think was it Raging Phoenix or Pyro Phoenix, whatever the newer Link 4 is. I think those are like $50 a piece right now. Granted, you only need two of them, but then you have to get Princess, which is I think somewhere around the $40 mark, something like that. So like that's already $140. Then you do need fires, which I think fires dropped. I think they're like somewhere between $6 and $8 now or something like that. I got rid of all my salad stuff when it spiked, like the when Fire and Phoenix or whatever the Raging Phoenix, whatever the new one is. Um, Once they spiked in price, I sold it because like I got it for a lot cheaper than that. Um, and I was like, yeah, I'll just get rid of it because eventually it's going to dip back down in price, and you know, just like stocks, like buy low, sell high. So yeah, I don't have an assembled Salamangreat deck at the moment because I got rid of all the expensive stuff. So now I just have all of the cheap stuff left over. But yeah, UDS was kind of like mid for day one, and like top four. Literally, there's two Snake Eye Fire King, one Snake Eye, and one branded. So basically, like you're gonna be looking, you're gonna be looking at this like tournament tomorrow, and it's top four, and there's a good chance that like obviously branded is going to probably get knocked out. So you're probably just going to have like a finals that's just fire versus fire. Yo, what's up, Nepti? I am doing pretty good. We're talking UDS from today. I'm going to take my watch off just because it keeps lighting up on the screen. But we're talking UDS and how painstakingly boring it was, and how I am putting together half-ass decks that have like half-ass slight counters to like Fire King and Snake Eye and all that other stuff. So I haven't like even flipped this over yet to show what this deck is, but this is what I've been literally testing all day. Just because I have nothing better to do. I was saying before, I was supposed to go to a regional, and I was up until like 3 in the morning last night, and was like, yeah, no, I'm not waking up at like 6 o'clock to get ready to go to the regional. No way. Did I see? Oh, Flunder. Yeah, Flunder. I think there's only one guy playing it at the UDS, and he did not do very well at all. There's a Kashtira guy who was doing pretty well, but I think he bubbled out. He probably lost his last round. I mean, that's the tough part, is that you have 16 players, and you're not doing a traditional Swiss, because 16 players would be 4 rounds. They're doing 6 rounds for 16 players. So like it's kind of weird. Like, it's really, really weird the way that it's set up. And keep in mind, like, you know, we're dealing with you know, some of the best players in the game's history that were there, and like I'm sitting there bored out of my mind watching this UDS, because like what am I getting out of it? Like, I'm sitting there watching the same deck every single round. I'm like, dude, my brain just doesn't even want to deal with this. Yeah, I think Cash is really good. Like, literally, I got pretty much everything for it. I'm missing one Rate Soth, and outside of that, I've got the whole deck. I had Labyrinth, and I got rid of it because there was just no way that I wanted to play it. So I just got rid of it. Like, this deck is just like dumb. Like, I just don't like it. So I have Labyrinth for like 2 weeks fully assembled, and was like, yeah, no, we're done with this shit. But yeah, like Flunder is not a bad choice if you want to play like something budget. Like, if you're looking to spend the absolute bare minimum to get into this game competitively, then Flunder is probably the right route. But yeah, I think that Cash is really, really good, and probably the better choice. Personally, I think that Cash is better anyways. That's just me though. Yeah, I don't think Lab does that great against Fire Kings either. I feel like if it did, we definitely would have seen more of it at the UDS today, and we didn't see like any of it. Like, I don't think anyone there was playing Lab at all. Like, I know that there was one Flandres, I know there was one Cash, one Branded. Other than that, I feel like out of those, other than those 3 decks, I don't know if there were any other like non-Fire King or Sinful Spoil decks. So there's 16 players, so we've already figured out 3. Well, actually, what can I do here? I got a piece of paper. Yeah, I'll get a piece of paper because I want to write this down and see if I could narrow it all down. I feel like I can probably narrow most of it down. We know that Jesse was on fire. Not literally, he was playing fire. he wasn't on fire. We know that Jeff Jones was playing fire. I think Cam Neal was also playing fire. We know that Andres Torres, he's playing Branded, and he's in the top 4 tomorrow. He has like, obviously anything can happen, but like, you know, Brandon's probably not going to win. There was that guy who was playing Flu. There was the guy playing Cash. Who else did we see? I'm trying to think back now because they showed a few people multiple times. Shuping, he was playing Fire. So that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 of the 16 players, and 4 of those 7 were on Fire. Yeah, the potato was burning. Yeah, like straight up, I can't. Like every single time I see Jesse on stream, like I just feel bad for the dude. It's like they don't ever compliment him from an angular standpoint. they never, the camera never does well for him. But yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. I watched a lot of the UDS, but my brain is just so fried from watching that boring stream that I'm like, all right, I don't know. But like, I don't remember the name of the Flandres player. I don't remember the name of the Cash tier player. I I really don't remember what anybody else was playing, but I'm assuming there's got to be a lot more Fire in addition to what we saw here. I wonder if they posted anything like on their blog. Yeah, I mean Jesse is unfortunately not the most photogenic man, and I don't mean that to be completely rude and offensive towards him, but like he just is not easy to take pictures of or video. So yeah, I know that I've heard that um, he makes reference to it about how like he's not like like photogenic, and I've heard that he like jokes about it, but I really don't know if that's true or not. Okay, let's see. Uh, Juan Andrade, he played Fire. I'm looking. I actually found on their blog here. So he had Fire. Joseph Chow, did he play? Chow played Fire. All right. So that was round 6. That was the last round that they did features on. Let's see. Ryan Murakami was the Flu player, I think. I don't think there were any runic variants. I mean, keep in mind it was only 16 players, obviously, with the way that it works. But like, I think it was mostly Fire, and that's pretty much it. Where did Furman play? Oh, Furman played Fire. I think. Yeah, Furman played Fire. So a Furman Fire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 out of the top 16, and 7 of those 10 were Fire. So I mean, let's see, that was round 5. Trying to find more. Wait, does it show it? Oh no, it doesn't show it. It'd be great if I could just find like what decks everyone played on here. They should really like get on top of doing that. It'd be helpful. Yeah, but I don't think there were any runic variants. Not that I know of, anyways. Let's see. Round 5 pairings. Does it show deck lists? I don't think it does. Nope, that doesn't show. Oh my god, why did they not show all this stuff? I know, right? Yep, round 1 was Snake Eye, Mirrors. Let's see. Wait, round 2. Apollo was on fire. Once again, I keep saying that people are on fire. They're not on fire. They were playing fire. Okay, yeah. So Apollo played fire. And then his opponent was playing Cash, which was Oscar Martinez. He has 4 last names, but we're just going to go with Oscar Martinez. So that was round 2. Who are we missing here? So we have, I have Cam Neal. I have Joseph Chow, or Cho, however he pronounces it. I have Jesse. I've got Paulo. I have Andres Torres. I'm just going down the list here. Tyler Jack Pfeiffer. I don't know what he was on. But I'm going to write his name down. Tyler Pfeiffer. Juan Andrade. I think I have him on here. Yep, have him. Rudolph Rodriguez. I don't have him. I messed that up. Rudolph Rodriguez. Don't know what he was on. Who's after that? I have Martinez somewhere. Yep, I got Martinez. David Flores. I don't have him on here yet. I have Shuping. That's already checked off. Osman Gonzalez. I don't have him. Ryan Murakami. I have him. I have Furman. I have Jones. Okay, got both of them. And then the last person is Alejandro Moreno. So basically I'm missing 5 decks. Let's see. We know what they were playing. We know what they were playing. Yeah, I'm trying to find more of the deck lists, but I'm not having luck locating the remainder of anything, which is unfortunate. Very, very odd. Very, very odd. I don't know. I've got 5 decks that I don't know what the people were playing, and that was Tyler Pfeiffer, Rudolph Rodriguez, David Flores, Osman Gonzalez, Alejandro Moreno. I have everybody else. I know what everybody else is playing, and I mean that's 11 of the 16 players, and 8 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, yeah, 8 of those 11 decks that I know were fire, which that's already 50% of the 16. And I'm sure out of the 5 other people that at least one of them was also playing fire. So yeah, like that's just crazy to me, that we're going to move into another tier 0 format. I'll put that piece of paper there just in case anybody drops in who happens to know what else was being played. But I just went through the features and to see who was playing who, and that, kind of narrowed stuff down. But yeah, this deck that I kind of put together, as like that has a half-ass counter to the fire stuff. It's so bad. I'm like going back in time here, like several years. Like I think it could do something, but that's just how it is. I know, right? We can't post that. Like literally, this drives me nuts. Okay, this drives me absolutely nuts. Usually, when you see like breakdowns, like for the rounds, like the pairings and everything, when you get into like top 32 of YCS, they put the deck name next to each player, like on the standings. So like it'll be like, oh, table 1 is Jeff Jones versus Jesse Cotton, and Jeff Jones is playing blank, Jesse is playing blank. But they didn't, like, I mean, with the people who were on feature, they did that. But everybody else they didn't include, and it's like, okay, well, we just, like what I'm doing now. I know 11 of the 16 decks that were played, but I still have 5 that I don't know, and I can only assume that at least half of these 5, let's just round it up to 3, at least 3 more of them were playing fire. That would be my guess. So like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think you're crazy at all, Nepti. Like that, this all should be posted, and it's not. Like I don't know. I think it's weird. I think it's really weird. And going into another format that's probably close to tier 0 isn't exciting. But I guess I can run down this deck list that I made for Ha-Ha's, just because it's fun. It does stuff. I've done a lot of test hands, and going first, it's solid, and going second, if you open certain cards, it can be decent. But yeah, normal summon Alistair. Like, I've been streaming for like 28 and a half minutes, and I built up all the suspense just to say that I'm normal summoning Alistair. Like, yeah, 3. I'm just gonna do this and just start lining everything up. Yeah, 3. Well, let's do it this way. It's probably better for the way I'm laying them out. 3 Alistair. Sorry, there's a glare there. I can't really fix that. 3 Alistair. 3 Meltdown, which searches Alistair, and Terraforming. That's just mandatory. 2 Invocation, which is also pretty good. Got to play 2 of this for sure. 2 Wendy. This is where it gets fun. I'm playing the dolls. 2 Wendy, 2 Squamata, 1 Beast, 1 Ariel, 1 Dragon, 1 Falco. Then 3 Fusion, 1 L, and 1 Schism. And then Dogmatica stuff. There's Ecclesia, there's Floor, Maximus, and 3 Nadir. And then the breakers, or hand traps, sorry, are Ashes, Veilers, Imperms, 2 Talents, and 1 Call by. This, like, so the doll stuff is really, really good. Now, I'm not playing Punishment because you don't want to destroy your opponent's stuff in the fire format. It wouldn't make sense. So that's why there's no Punishment in here. I know sounds crazy to not play punishment, but you don't want to play it when the format literally relies on you popping your opponent's stuff, and that gives them advantage. Like it's counterintuitive. But the doll stuff is crazy because if you go second and they don't have whatever the continuous spell is for Fire Kings, I don't think it's Temple or something like that, whatever it is. And you go Shaddoll Fusion, you basically just clear most of their win con, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. And I'll show how that works. That's the main. I guess I'll do the extra inside real quick. Mechaba, just one, no more than one, you just need one. One Purgatrio, which is actually nuts in the fire format. One Agides, one Kaliga, because like, so this card just kills Flandres too. I wanted to note that, like, you just destroy Flandres because of that card. Then the doll stuff, 2 Construct, 2 App Cologne, 2 Winda. Then Mudragon Garura, which you can guess what we're side decking if you're seeing Mudragon and Garura. But Garura is good too still, even without siding in Super Poly, because you can dump it off of Nadir or off of Maximus, and then it's a draw, so like that's not bad. Then Gravity Controller, Artemis, and SP. I'm not going with Almirage because it's a fire format. I'm going to banish my opponent's graveyard instead, which seems really, really good to summon Purgatrio. So that's why I didn't do Almirage Secure Gardna. Instead, I just did the Artemis. And that's really not bad. Like if you open up if you're going first, you open up a Shaddoll Fusion and like 2 Dark Shaddolls, but you want to make a construct, you just normal one of the Shaddolls, link it for this, and then you fuse this and the other Shaddoll from your hand, and then you have a construct. Yeah, that's the extra. Pretty basic, gonna be perfectly honest. And then the side, 3 Droll, 3 Soul Release, 3 Super Poly, 3 Cosmic, 3 Summon Limit. This, I mean, like this is literally very, very basic, like so basic. You can like side out against the fire stuff. You can side out Ashes. That way you're not having them taken by your opponent's Hitas, and you can put in, whatever you want out of these, and then obviously put in other stuff too. So, that's basic. I think that Summon Limit is actually like crazy in this deck, because if they out the Winda and you have a Summon Limit too, it's like, all right, well, now you really got them locked. Like they're not doing anything. Yeah. And then like the Drolls, I'm like very back and forth on this and Nib. I think that's a very tough call to make because Nib is really good. Droll, I'm actually starting to think might not be as good, but at the same time, there are decks where it could be seen as, being worth having. So Droll, it's like, oh, okay, like, sure. But that Shaddoll Fusion thing that I wanted to show you, here, let me just do this. I just have to have this like back in the reverse order that it was in before. It's just the way my brain works. I don't know why. But yeah, the doll stuff is cool because if you're going second and you have Shaddoll Fusion, and like your opponent has some fire stuff in grave or whatever, and they have Fire King Island up, and they don't have the continuous one that protects. I think it's Temple, whatever it is. I don't remember. It's literally sitting on the other side of my office right now, and I'm too lazy to get out of my chair to go and pick it up. But like, you activate Shaddoll Fusion if you're going second, so you can send from deck, and you're gonna dump Aerial and Dragon. And when you send Aerial and Dragon, you make App Cologne, because you sent 2 different attribute Shaddolls, you make App Cologne in the extra monster zone. It's actually important that you make it in the extra monster zone. So then what happens is you're going to get 3 chain links. You're going to get Aerial 1 to banish like whatever important fires they have from grave. So you get to banish 3 fires. You get Dragon to pop Fire King Island if they don't have the continuous up. And then you get App Cologne to negate like one of their face up cards on the field. So like you banish their important stuff that Flameburge could bring back. And then you pop the Fire King Island. So now Flameburge isn't going to revive stuff from grave. And then you negate a card on field, which really doesn't make too much of a difference. Is it just card or monsters? Face up card in the field. So you could actually negate the Temple, and then the Fire King Island does just go, which is even crazier. This is like going second. You basically clear most of their stuff out. And then if you have to swing over something with this, you can. And then you can actually link this for Gravity Controller. And then App Cologne triggers to, you can search for like Wendy and dump Wendy. And then Wendy can trigger to set Falco or something like that. But that's like all just off of Shaddoll Fusion. If you have other cards, obviously it gets a lot better. Yeah, it's really dope. Like it's so dope. It's ridiculous. It's just, yeah, Shaddoll Fusion is actually really, really good. Like really good. I when I started thinking about it, I was like, oh man, like this is actually like nuts. Like I gotta do this. And then it led me down this rabbit hole of literally just doing nothing but like test hands with Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatica for like, I don't even know, 5 hours today, something like that. Some crazy amount of time that I just sat there and did that. But like going first is really good too. Like it's still solid. Like I guess test hands would probably be what I should do now to kind of showcase some stuff. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Like literally Shaddoll Fusion going second, just like outs fire. Like, but that's crazy. That's crazy. And then like post sideboard, if you side in super polys, you can go like Shaddoll Fusion. Well, yeah, you can go Shaddoll Fusion, and they probably won't activate anything. You know, you'd have to like see the board state, but basically you can just super poly after you do your targeting with Aerial. And then like that's actually pretty solid. Because you can, they'll probably have like Heat Soul Flameburge, and then you just super poly make a Mud Dragon. Then if you have Alistair too, it's just like, all right, sweet. Like I have everything. I'm not playing Prosperity in here though, because I have a decent amount of cards that draw. So, and I don't like Prosperity because I'm playing the Dogmatica stuff. I think that it just gets rid of the extra deck too quickly. But we'll draw 5 and go first. Let's see how bad it is. Ooh, that's actually really rough. This is basic invoked combo pretty much. You just make a Mechaba pass. Yeah, this is not a good hand. That's a really, really bad hand. But if we went second, it'd be really, really good. So we can Valor the Snake Eye Ash. And we draw for turn. There's Meltdown. We didn't need Meltdown, but okay. But then going second, you Shaddoll Fusion. And like I showed you, you send the Dragon. And you send the Aerial. You make the App Cologne in the extra monster zone. Then you Dragon 1, Aerial 2, App Cologne 3. And then after that, you can go Meltdown, and you can search for an Alistair. So you get Alistair in hand. You normal Alistair. You activate the effect. Even if your opponent ashes it now or imperms it or Valor, you're fine because you have Invocation in hand already. But let's assume that it goes through because we've just completely crippled their board just by activating Shaddoll Fusion. So we get that. Cool. That's good there. I'm actually going to activate the terraforming just to get a meltdown on a deck, because we might be drawing cards here. The thing is, like, you got rid of their graveyard stuff and you wiped their board, but like you don't know what else they have, so you kind of have to like play things carefully still. You have to think about all of your plays in a certain way. So, like, obviously right now I could go Invocation. I could banish the Aleister from field and Veiler from grave, and that would get me a Mechaba. But it's like, all right, do I want to do that? Do I want to like try and like push further? Like, what do I want to do with all of this? Because there is a lot to consider, like, to be perfectly honest. So like, you can link the app cologne here. Make gravity controller. App cologne triggers, and you can search for like. And I suppose you could grab a Squamata if you wanted to, and then discard it, or you could hold on to it and discard, like, I'm going to keep the Invocations. Discard the other Meltdown here. Then you can link Aleister. Well, does this work? Hold on a second. Let me go back here. Instead of pitching the Meltdown, I don't think we pitched the Meltdown because we already used this Shaddoll Fusion. I was thinking it was the other Shaddoll Fusion. I think you do pitch a Squamata, and the Squamata effect is going to dump Beast. Yeah, that's the way. And then Beast is going to draw us a card, which is going to be an Aleister. Fantastic. That's totally what we wanted. Then you can link the Aleister for Artemis. You can go Invocation, and I mean, you banish Aleister from grave. You could also banish the Veiler, I guess. So we do those to make Mechaba, and then we can do the whole recycling with Invocation. And then once that happens, like, you can do some other stuff with this, which is nice. So because you cleared their board, you're kind of in a good spot. And like, Invocation is such a good card. Like, I mean, you can do another Invocation here technically, and you can send one of the Aleisters from hand, and then you can banish something from your grave, because yes, that does indeed work. Like, that's actually crazy when you think about it. So like, you can send the Aleister from hand, and then you can banish like one of the darks in your grave, like a Squamata or something, and then you can make a Kaliga if you wanted to, and like, now your opponent can only do one monster effect per turn. You can only attack with one monster per turn as well. So like, you're just doing Mechaba control pretty much after clearing their board. Like, that's actually not terrible. It's not like amazing, but like, going second, like, you just clear the board with Shaddoll Fusion. It's actually kind of nuts. The crazy part about App Cologne is that it's not just like, oh, negate it, well, this is face up on the field. No, like, once you negate it, it's just negated, which is even crazier when you think about it. Like, you just negate stuff permanently. We'll do some more hands here. Yeah, I like this deck. It's a lot of fun. I'm almost having more fun going second with it than I would going first most of the time, which is crazy. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hate drawing Meltdown and Alistair. I hate drawing multiple Alistair. That drives me nuts. So I like to start with Meltdown, even though some people are playing Droll. I actually hardly saw Droll get dropped onto the field in the UDS. I feel like it didn't get dropped very much at all because there's so many ways for Fire to play through it. But you go Meltdown just in case they Ash it. Like if they Ash it, it's like, okay, cool, I already have 2 other Alistairs in my hand. You add the Alistair here. If they don't Droll you, cool. Summon Alistair, get the search. Yeah, I mean, blind second is an option. You could technically do it, and you at that point, it's like if I was blind second, if I was going blind second, I would probably consider Prosperity, just because at that point I kind of need to see Shaddoll Fusion, like it's a necessity at that point. Yeah, that's just me though. Here we link the Alistair. We make the Artemis invocation, banish the Alistair and Artemis to make Mechaba. Then invocation engrave, get the Alistair back, shuffle this. Then you can go Nadir. I like to send Garura. So Garura goes to grave. And then we add, actually, no, Garura doesn't go to grave yet. We start with the App Cologne. You'll see why in a second. You send the App Cologne to grab the Ecclesia. Wherever it is, there's Ecclesia. Okay, so you get Ecclesia here. Then App Cologne triggers, and you're going to get Schism. So you add Schism, and then you discard Schism. And then once that's all said and done, you special the Ecclesia. Ecclesia effect to search. You get to grab Maximus. And then you summon the Maximus by banishing the App Cologne from grave. And then you go Maximus effect to send a construct and a Garura. And then your opponent sends whatever. And then you get construct 1, target Schism, Garura 2, or whatever order you want to do it in. So you get to draw a card, and then you get to add Schism back. And then you can set the Schism. So your Schism would be set. And you still got 5 cards in hand here. And then during your opponent's turn, you can do Schism, banish the Garura and the construct, and you can make Winda. So I like to make the Winda in the extra monster zone, because then on my turn, I can link it away for Gravity Controller. And even if I don't do that on my turn, I can normal Alistair search for invocation, and then I can link both of these and make Little Knight. And then I can still special summon after that, because like, so on my follow-up, let's say like they have something, but it's not really anything crazy. Also, let's say we Mechaba negated or whatever, discarding that. We draw for turn. There's no reason to have another terraforming. I don't need another meltdown. But let's say we normal this and we get the search for invocation. There we go. So like you have this set up, and then you can link these 2 off, and you can make Little Knight. Now, if you banish, you can attack them directly, which obviously you want to end the game as quickly as possible, so you probably don't want to do the banish effect on summon, especially considering the fact that you have invocation in hand, because you can go invocation and you can banish the Alistair and the Winda, and you can make Agides, and then you can invocation effect, put it back, and add the Alistair back. The Agides does pop a card, but I mean, if it's fire format and you're playing a fire against a fire deck, you probably don't want to pop any of their cards, because they get cool effects when you do that. And then like you do have the option of Maximus if you want, but you have Purgatrio, Coliga, one Construct, one App Clone, one Winda, Mudragon, and Gravity Controller. So essentially what you would have to do here is you keep in mind too, you're going to be locked out of the extra deck. So like there's no real point in doing this right now. It doesn't make like any logical sense to do anything with it. You're literally better off like, you know, swinging for the fences and trying to take your opponent out. And because we have 3 Alistair, like you just attack boost your stuff. Yeah, like that's basically how that would probably play out. At least you hope, you know, like that's the tough thing is that you're playing in a format where it's looking more and more like tier 0 deck. So like because you're moving into that kind of format and environment, it makes everything significantly more difficult because you know that your opponent is going to have an answer for almost everything that you do. So like that's where I get frustrated with like the way that they kind of have these formats develop, is that it just turns into like, oh, your opponent can interact with every single thing that you do, and you don't get to play the game. Like that's just absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This isn't like the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst. And I know it's like, oh, what do you do with this hand? Well, you go Shaddoll Fusion, you get rid of the Falco and Maximus, and you make Construct in the extra monster zone. Very specifically, the extra monster zone. Yeah, hand traps are a blessing and a curse, to be honest. But then Construct Chainlink 1, Falco Chainlink 2. So Falco will set itself. And then Construct will send. I think it's probably best to send Squamata and then Squamata to send Schism. And then you link the Construct for Grav Controller. And then Construct Engrave will add back the Schism. And then you can set the Schism and pass, and then you basically have an Ash, which you can use, and you can Schism banish the Construct and Squamata. Or the smarter thing to do, and not be an idiot like I almost did, you can banish the Squamata and the Gravity Controller, and you can make a Winda. The reason that you do that is because now, like, you have Construct Engrave, so if they attack into the Falco, you can just set the Construct from your grave, which is actually nuts, like absolutely nuts. So yeah, like that'd be really, really good. They're probably not going to attack the Falco, but like if they do, you're in a very, very good position. And that's your one special summon is this, and they only get one special summon because you have the Winda. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not like a terrible hand, but you could potentially lock them. I mean, there's a route there that I showed you where it's like, all right, well, they get one special summon, and I have this oppressive situation going on where you're only getting one special summon a turn in a deck that requires like an excessive amount of special summons. So that's kind of the benefit. This is definitely going second hand. This is like a really, really good going second hand. You can imperm like a Snake Eyes Ash if you wanted to. That'd be probably the best route. Then we draw for turn. Squamata, okay, whatever. Go Shaddoll Fusion. We're going to do what I showed before. You send Dragon and Aerial, and that'll make an App Clone. Yeah, Winda's so good. Winda is just ridiculous. So you make the App Clone. Dragon 1, target island. Aerial 2, target 3 fires in their grave. And then App Clone would be 3 to negate the the continuous spell that protects. And then like that all resolves. And now they're in deep doo-doo because their Fire King Island is going to end up popping their whole board. Then you can go Meltdown. You get to grab Alistair. Normal Alistair, effect to search for an invocation. And then you can do a few things here, which is kind of nice, but I'm going to show you like how to really combo off with this. So you link the app clone here for Gravity Controller. App clone triggers. We're going to grab, let's see, we did, okay. Let's grab, we already have Squamata in hand. So I'm going to be honest, it's probably best to just grab Schism here. Because you grab Schism, you can pitch Meltdown because we don't need another Meltdown right now. We've already got the one that's active. So now you link your Alistair for Artemis. And then you go El Shaddoll Fusion. You fuse the Artemis and the Squamata. You make a construct. Construct 1, Squamata 2. You send Beast and Beast and Wendy. We do Chainlink 1 Beast, Chainlink 2 Wendy. Wendy will set Falco. If I was playing the other Shaddoll Trap Resh, it would give me more areas to combo, but I don't want to play the card because it's a like really bad brick. Then I get to draw my card off Beast. There's talents. Great. They probably did activate a monster effect during the main phase, most likely. But at this point, you can go Invocation. You can banish the Alistair, and like if they have a fire, you can banish one of their fires if you want to. Or looking at your grave, you could make a Mecha Bucks. You have the light there. So like they probably have a Flame Burge because the Fire King Island popped their board. So you banish this and like their Flame Burge. I think Flame Burge is a fire, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Then you can make Purgatrio, and then you Invocation effect, shuffle that back, grab this back. Yes, this is definitely more comboed than prior turns. Okay, I'm glad that I am audible. Hopefully my audio isn't all screwy or anything. But if they activate a monster effect or something, you can just talents, draw 2. That doesn't really do anything, but whatever. I was hoping to hit like another Invocation. We hit another Invocation, it would have gotten like really, really crazy. That's okay, because like their board is gone. So you go battle phase, that's 1,000 plus 28 is 38. Now this already is 48, 58, that's technically 61 so far, which is off by game. The Alistair could make it 71, but if they had a Heat Soul and they paid like 1,000 twice, then yes, you have game on board, which Heat Soul does come up in their combos. So like that's a possibility. No, it's not Streamlabs. I'm actually streaming directly through YouTube. Yeah, I'm streaming directly through YouTube with a webcam that I have set up, and maybe I'm talking quiet because like it's midnight here, and like my wife is sleeping, and I don't well, she's upstairs. She probably can't even hear me anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But I just don't want to be ridiculously loud and wake her up. But Maybe I'm just talking low. That could be it. Maybe I'm just being quieter than I need to be. That's a possibility. I think. But let me see if I can do anything here about this. Yeah, no, the fire mirror sucks to watch. Let's see. I don't know what some of these things even do, to be honest. If I click edit, nope, that doesn't do nothing. Well, let's assume that I can be heard here. Maybe your messages are delivering late or something. That's weird. But we'll do another test hand here. I know that YouTube can be kind of funky with stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So this is a possible pile of garbage, going first or second. Possible. It could get better. It could. It's possible. We'll see. So you go, I mean, unfortunately here you have to start with Nadir. So if we're going first, that's the rough part. I don't even want to look at the 6th card and pretend we're going second. I don't even want to do that. So we go Nadir activation first. It's probably best to send the App Cologne, grab the Ecclesia, and then App Cologne triggers to grab, let's grab Schism. Yeah, we'll do Schism. This is gone. We have to discard a Wendy. Wendy effect will trigger, and we can set Falco. All right. Yeah, Nepti, I think some of your messages are sending late because I'm seeing them and I'm recalling when I talked about the things that I said earlier in the stream. Yeah, but I agree. There's a lot of people who just talk so much about how great mirror matches are. I don't think they're great at all. But anyways, Falco is set off of the Wendy. We have Ecclesia, so you literally have the normal an Ecclesia and search. And you grab Maximus here. All right. And banish, summon this, and then get the effect. We can send Garura, and I guess we'll send Mud Dragon because it's a game without Super Poly sided in. And then Garura lets us draw a card. Of course, we draw Terraforming now. Just activate the Terraforming, and just grab the Meltdown. Grab the Alistair off of the Meltdown, and then you basically just set the Schism and pass. That's really all that you have going for you right now, unfortunately. So, like, literally, you can Schism, banish like Garura Wendy, which even then, that's not like, it's not great. Yeah, it's not great. And then you make a Winda in the extra monster zone. And that's about it. Yeah, like that's literally, like this is the one benefit. If they attack your Winda, you have the Alistair, so they're gonna have to have something above 3,200, which technically isn't that difficult if they summon out Garunix. But that requires them to have Garunix be like their one special summon. So yeah, they may not be able to clear this board, as you know, kind of poor as it was. You know, that's just the way that it goes. You know, you can't. We're playing a deck here that's literally like years and years old. I can't expect perfection. Like I can't expect perfection at all. It's like when I play Burning Abyss, it's like what am I supposed to do? You know, I'm playing a deck that's literally a decade old now. And Invoked is upcoming on a decade. So like I'm not playing decks that are new. I'm playing basically old reliable. That's essentially what it is. But what do I think about Goblin Biker? Dude, Goblin Biker is so much fun. I actually have that together on the other side of the room right now. Yeah, that deck is like ridiculously fun. Why hands like this have to happen? If I'm going second, this is perfectly fine. Like, perfectly fine going second. Going first is not good at all. But if I'm going second, okay, we Ash their Snake Eye Ash. And then a draw for turn. There's a Maximus. That's not ideal either. Why couldn't it be an Alistair? We do the Shaddoll fusion like we've been doing before. Send the dragon and the aerial. Yeah, Goblin Biker is super cool. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying, Nefty. I'm like something's going on here. I'm like, this is like he's talking about stuff that I talked about like 45 minutes ago. Yeah, Goblin Bikers are super cool. Deck is super explosive. Yeah, really fun. Actually, after I do this test hand, I will go and grab my Goblin Biker stuff, and I will show you what I have for that. But we did the Shaddoll fusion going second stuff here, so we've already kind of gone over how this goes. Now we're going to link this, and this is actually a little bit, I mean, it could be deemed as a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know. But link for Gravity Controller, app clone effects, grab a Schism, and then we're actually going to get rid of, unfortunately, I think we're going to get rid of Shaddoll Beast. I know we can El Shaddoll fusion into Construct here, but so here's the dilemma that I'm having with this hand. If I pitch the Schism, that means my Deer Servant has to be used to add back my Maximus from grave after I El Shaddoll. If I discard Beast, I get to draw, but my El Shaddoll is dead. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of the Schism. And then I'm going to go Fusion, get rid of these two to make a Construct. Beast 1, Construct 2. Send a Squamata. Give that a cut, and then I get to draw a card. There's an Invocation, but like, what's that gonna do? Nothing. So now the Squamata will activate. Let's send. I guess we'll send. Yeah, let's send Wendy. And then Wendy effect can set Falco from deck. Because we do have the app clone engrave, which is nice. Now we can go Nadir Servant. And we already have an app clone engrave and Schism, so we can send the Garura here. Add back the Maximus, and then the Garura will trigger, so we get to draw another card. Of course, we draw the Alistair after the Invocation and after we Nadir Servant. So now we can't even do the Alistair plays going second, which is just terrible. But like summon Maximus, I guess, by banishing Garura. And then Maximus can send, probably send a Winda and a Mud Dragon. And our opponent sends whatever, and then Winda triggers to add back Schism. And then we hit for some damage, set the Schism, and pass. I mean, that's it. Literally, we needed to draw these in reverse order. That was like, yeah, that was unfortunate. But that's, hey, you know what? It's still a board that can make a Winda, so I guess that's not a bad thing. Honestly, like sometimes I go back and I play some of these decks and like, man, like I should just not buy any new decks and just play all the old decks that I have all the time and not play anything else anymore. Because it seems like they just draw better for me than anything else. Let me go get my what's it called? First things first, I'm gonna go grab a glass of water because I'm getting dry mouth. I'll be back in a second. Okay. And let me grab my Gobble Bikers. There we go. Okay. All right. So, oops, I think I forgot a card. Yes, I did. Goblin Bikers. This deck is crazy. I'm not going to show my list because I probably will do a whole video dedicated to the deck. So I guess we'll just do test hands right away. All right. I heard this deck like won a regional this weekend or something. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. The deck is actually pretty good. At least I think it's pretty good. All right, that should be pretty well mixed. But yeah, Goblin Bikers, man, this is a fun deck. This is like right up my wheelhouse. This is playing level 3 decks, which, Burning Abyss, also level 3s. All right, we'll draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, this is interesting because we drew Terror Top, but we also drew Target Down Board. I drew 2 Valor and I drew Clattersploder. Clattersploder says that if it's normal special, you can target a goblin in your graveyard and special it. So we're gonna special the Terror Top, and then we just special the Tagatomborg. They get overlaid. I have a card that I don't. Oh, this is supposed to be SP. Yeah, this is supposed to be SP Little Knight. Whatever, I'll put that to the side. You make Gabunga. Gabunga activates to add Dug Charger. You can special this from your hand by detaching a material from Gabunga, and then the effect will activate to search for one of the Goblin Biker spells. So you add Grand Entrance, and then you go Grand Entrance effect to search for the Mean Merciless. And then you detach this as part of this to special this from your hand. Now, you could technically use this to summon the Clattersploder, but we're not going to because we haven't used our normal summon yet. And if we summon this, it kind of defeats the purpose. So these two you're going to overlay. You make Alucard, and then you make Ghost Trick Angel Mischief. You detach the Alucard. You grab Ghost Trick Shot. You activate Ghost Trick Shot to summon Alucard back. Then you overlay another Angel Mischief on Alucard. And then these get overlaid for Utopic Future. And because Alucard hit Grave, you actually get to add the Ghost Trick Shot back to your hand, which is pretty good. And then you can add, or you can overlay for Draco Future. Keep in mind you have not normal summoned yet, which is really, really good. The other thing you can do too, which is pretty good, is you can summon the Mean Merciless from Grave by detaching one of your Angel Mischiefs here. And then this will activate the special, the Clattersploder. And then Clattersploder effect can summon back the Dug Charger, which is like really nuts because we still have not normal summoned. Like no normal summoning has been done yet, which is kind of insane. So I'm gonna overlay these two for Armor Torpedo and use the effect to attach two to draw one, because if I hit another level 3, then I'm in a really good spot. We draw, it's entrance, that doesn't do anything for us, but that's okay. We're gonna overlay for Armor Fortress, and then Armor Fortress effect is gonna add the trap for Armored Xyz. And then at this point, like, I know we have this awkward card here, so I would literally normal a Veiler, and I would link these two. And this is, like I said, this is SP Little Knight from my Invoke stuff. I'm actually going to take the Little Knight out with the Invoke stuff just so I can do this correctly. That way I'm not like saying that this is SP over and over and over again. Yeah, let me just toss this in the sleeve real quick. You make the SP here, and then you set the trap and you pass. So what your end board does is actually nuts. I don't think that the Ghost Trick package is that bad. I think that this is like pretty solid. I think that it's worth doing. Like it's just so good. I just think it's so good. But basically what we have here during our opponent's turn, you can, like, let's say you get 2 monsters out, you can negate like the second monster's effect with Draco Future, and then Gabunga will suck up the other one, and then you have an SP banish. You have Full Armor Xyz, which is going to let you go into this, and then you can banish this to equip it with Alucard. It's good to equip this with Alucard because if it leaves the field and this goes with it, you can add an Angel of Mischief back to your extra deck, which then you can Ghost Trick Shot the Alucard back out and re-overlay the Angel of Mischief. Like that's really important. But because you equipped one, his effect is going to make it so you attach one of your opponent's monsters to him as a material, and then you also have a Veiler. So that was 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interruptions, I think. Yeah, at least 5, which is like pretty good. Like I think it's really, really good. And that was just off of, you know, minimal stuff there. Yeah, I think the Ghost Trick package is like completely, I think it's completely necessary after testing this for a little while. I think that like it's just so good. The only downside is that Ghost Trick Shot is a brick. I think that's honestly the only downside. I'm not bothered by the 3 extra deck slots being taken up. Like it actually doesn't bother me that much. But yeah, I think it's something that you have to do. I do plan on doing a profile for Goblin Bikers in the future for sure. It's up there on my list of things to do. I think this deck is actually like I think it has a much higher ceiling than anyone is really talking about. Like this deck is actually crazy. Like this hand right here, like this is insane. This is actually one of the most insane hands I've seen so far in testing. So we have Tour Guide, we have Merciless, we have Kagamucha, Psychic Tracker, and Doug Charger. This is like that your opponent, no matter what they do, isn't going to be able to break this. What do I think about a BA PK version of this deck? My brother has a 60 card list, but like my thing is I don't like going over 40 anymore, because like the only time that I was okay with going over 40 was when grass was a card. And it's been a few years since we've had grass legal here in the TCG. So for me, I wouldn't mix the BA and the PK stuff because it's just too much space that I'd be taking up in addition to what like I want to play. But anyways, I'm going to run this test hand because this is nuts. I'm actually excited to show this. So using normal Tour Guide effect, Chainlink 1 and then Chainlink 2 Kagamucha, which will summon the Merciless. Obviously, its effects are negated, so we're not going to activate them. Overlay these two for Gabunga effect. Let's grab, I think Clattersploder is probably the correct play there. From here, you can Doug Charger, detach the Merciless. So this is a special summon. The effect will activate, and in this case, I'm thinking here because there's a lot that I can do. If I grab Entrance, I can kind of just pop off more. But if I grab Grand Bash, I can overlay for Evilzor Lars, which is also really, really good. So let's grab Grand Bash, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay these two and make Alucard, and then go Mischief, detach the Alucard, grab Shot, go Shot, summon Alucard out, overlay for Mischief, and then overlay the two Mischiefs, getting rid of all this. For Topic Future, Alucard triggers Engrave to add Shot back. Then we overlay for Draco Future. And what we do now is Merciless Engrave, summon itself by detaching off of Gabunga. That'll trigger Merciless on summon to summon Clattersploder, which will then summon the Doug Charger. You then overlay these two for Armor Torpedo, detach to draw. Takaton board doesn't really do that much. Then we overlay for Armor Fortress, detach, grab Full Armor Xyz. All right. You go Grand Bash here, and this is actually really, really cool. You Grand Bash. Here's the tough part. I have this really cool line, but it doesn't technically work. Yeah, technically it doesn't work. I have this crazy line, but I need more. What's it called? I think I need more space. Might have been better to grab grand entry. Oh no, it doesn't make a difference here. Oh wait. I think this works. No, it doesn't. I'd have to cut a card from. Well, this can do something. We can do something here. So we get the additional normal of Grand Bash. We're not going to make these into level 6. We're going to overlay that. No, it doesn't work. No, we have to do a 6 here. Yeah, I think we have to go with the 6, which is fine. Like we use Grand Bash to make these both become level 6, and then you make Evils or Lars, and then you set the full armored Xyz. There's a line that I was trying to get to, but I didn't have the ability to do so, where I would have to basically cut like Downward Magician and play Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, or cut Little Knight and play Gossip Shadow, because what you could do in this situation, let's assume that Evazor Lars is Gossip Shadow. Okay, we'll just assume that it is. You would overlay these two in the extra monster zone, and you would actually make Cicada King. And now that you control a wind, you can special attack a Tomborg, and because you'd have a level 3, you summon the tracker, and then these two would become your Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, which would be crazy. But because I don't play Gossip Shadow, that line does not work. And I thought maybe I could make like an SP somewhere along the line, but that also does not work because I need more space on the field to do so, realistically. But I mean, that would be a Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, Cicada King, Gabunga, Fortress with Armor XC, Draco Future. Like this is crazy. But instead, what we had to end on was these two in hand, these two being an Evils or Lars, which is still, like, this board is still really, really good. Like, this is an amazing field, because, like, literally you detach, take one of their cards, Gabunga sucks one of their cards up, you full armor Xyz onto this for that. You banish this from grave to equip this with the Alucard, so that's equipped, and then you get to equip another one of their cards to him as a material, and then you have Evils or Lars to detach and negate stuff. Like, this is that's a really, really, really good board. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I really, really enjoy this deck a lot. And I think what I like about it the most is that it reminds me so much of Burning Abyss, not just because they're level 3s, but because, like, there's so much variation. You can like custom make your list however you want to make it, and there's a good chance that it'll work. Like, that's what I like about it, is that it's literally just fully functional, like, on all aspects, which is crazy, like absolutely crazy. So I'm just going to shuffle this a little bit more, do another test hand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we opened up Bash, 2 Ash, Doug Charger, and Mean Merciless. So here we would go probably Merciless, and then effect to special Doug Charger. Doug Charger effect would grab Entrance because we already got Bash. Can overlay these and make Gabunga. Gabunga effect we'll search for, where is it? We want Clattersploder here. Yeah, it's very interesting. This deck is actually super fun. I bought it before some of the stuff got bought out. I think the prices have settled, but I know for a little while they had jumped up a bit. But yeah, it's super fun. But you go Grand Entrance here to grab, where is it? You grab Boom Mech here, or Boom Mach, however it's pronounced. And then you can detach one of these as part of the resolution effect to special it from your hand. Then you can go bash, and you can do your additional normal of a goblin to summon Clattersploder. And Clattersploder can revive the Dug Charger here, which is really, really cool. Then you can overlay these. I actually feel like it's almost better to make the Armor Torpedo and try and see if we draw an extender to get some more stuff. So I'm going to make the Armor Torpedo, detach 2 to draw a card, Ghost Trick Shot. Literally the worst draw I could have gotten. It's whatever, doesn't matter. Then we make Armor Fortress. They're test hands, it doesn't matter. And then we get the search here. Actually, did it matter? I detached Dug Charger off of Grand Entrance, and I should have detached Merciless. It does matter. This really matters. So when I resolved the Grand Entrance, I detached the Dug Charger. It should have been Merciless, and I'll show you why. Because this does make a difference. So that would mean that this is not the line that we would be going into right now, because the play is significantly different. So we would still have, what, both of these out? No, just one of these out. What would we have out? I can't remember. Well, no, this would be on the field, right? Yeah, it'd be this at this point, because this would revive that. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. The reason that we do it this way is because now you can go right into the Ghost Trick line, which is probably like the best route. I just think that it's best to start with this. So you just do that again. We know the shot is on top, so whatever. We go shot, Alucard, Mischief, overlay for Utopic Future. Alucard grabs back shot. Then you make the Draco Future. Then you mean Merciless effect. That's why it matters that you detach this instead of Dug Charger. You mean Merciless Engrave by detaching the Dug Charger. And then you do your armor play. You get to draw your card. Cool. You get to Armor Fortress search for Full Armor Xyz. And then you set the Full Armor Xyz and you pass. And now, once again, we have the Draco Future, detach, negate something, Biker can suck something up. You Full Armor Xyz on the Armor Fortress to make this. You banish the Full Armor Xyz to equip Alucard to this. Then this effect triggers to suck one of their cards up, and then you have an Ash. Like, that's actually really crazy. Like, really crazy. I really think that that's just nuts. You also technically, once per chain during the main phase, if it's in hand or graveyard, quick effect, detach material from Xyz monster, special summon this card. Yeah, like, cool. You could do that technically during your opponent's main phase, and then if they don't like clear this out during your turn, you can do stuff, or you just save it for your turn, and then you're good. Yeah, this is like what I'm super excited for right now is this deck. I was having a lot of fun doing test hands with Invoked. Like, don't get me wrong, that was actually a lot of fun. Yeah, Invoked has been one of my favorite decks of all time for a long time. I've just that deck is just so much fun. It's so linear. I think that's the thing. Like I like, other than Burning Abyss, I like decks that pretty much do the same thing all the time. It's just like, because it makes it easier for you to obviously start learning something, but then once you learn the basics, you become proficient in all of like the little nuances. That's one of the things I liked about Salamangreat too, is that Sala did like the same combos, but you would just have like these little nuances that would help you push for game or do things differently. Let's see, opening 5 is garbage. This is actually the first time I've drawn a hand with this deck that I can't do a going first hand. Going second, this is actually great because you just stop all of their stuff, and then you can like get rid of Princess, but we drew Imperm, so it doesn't matter, because why would we draw another level 3? That was terrible. That was the worst hand that I've seen so far with this deck in testing. I actually have never seen a hand that bad so far. And I'm playing like good ratios. Like I'm playing like 12 non-engine or something like that, which is like mathematically what you're supposed to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good though. That's really good. Oh my god. Terratop, Veiler, Clatter Exploder, Tour Guide, Psychic Wielder. Terratop, search for Takatomborg. Cool. Specialty Takatomborg overlay for yeah, it's Gabunga. Gabunga searches for Doug Charger. Special the Doug Charger by detaching. Then Doug Charger searches for Grand Entrance. Then you probably go Grand Entrance here, if I'm being honest. We haven't normal summoned yet, which is also just crazy. We're going to grab Boombox, then detach from the Gabunga to summon it. This is with the Grand Entrance, not its own effect, so keep that in mind. Then here we're going to do the Ghost Trick line because I like to get this out of the way as quickly as possible. So add shot, activate shot, summon the Alucard back out. I'm not even going to shuffle yet because I'm going back in. Make the other angel. These go away for future, and then Alucard grabs back shot, and then you make future. Cool. Like I said, we haven't normal summoned yet, which is even crazier. Because here you normal the Tour Guide, and if they don't stop it, like you extend so much further. So Tour Guide summons the Mean Merciless. And then you overlay these for Armor Torpedo and get the effect to draw an Imperm. Cool. Armor Fortress effect, detach, grab, full armored Xyz. Then you have a few other lines that you can take here. It's probably for the best that you summon the Armor Fortress in your Action Monster Zone. I'll show you why. So you're going to go Merciless Effect to summon itself from grave by detaching one from the Draco Future. That's going to trigger the Merciless on field to special the Clattersploder. And Clattersploder is going to trigger to summon the Dug Charger from grave. From here, you can overlay for Cicada King, and then you have Psychic Wielder, so you special it, and then this would be a Gossip Shadow. Like I said, I don't have one in my extra deck right now. I have one somewhere in the room. I think I have it pulled to the side somewhere. Yeah, it's actually sitting on a playmat on the other side of the room right now. One of the cards in your extra deck is just Gossip Shadow instead. And then what you have is you have 1, 2, 3 negates. Yeah, like you just I think there's like 8 interruptions here. Like there's like 8 interruptions if you play the Gossip Shadow. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Really insane actually. So deck is bonkers if you play it well. But it's actually like I didn't even show you guys the 1-card combo. There's a 1-card combo that I should probably show because like it's good to know the basic stuff. That way you have like an idea as to like what 1 card does. So the 1-card combo is Tour Guide, and my play mat is like going all over the place here. I apologize. But we're just going to grab Tour Guide, and I'm going to show you what Tour Guide does for you on its own. So you summon Tour Guide, get the effect. You're going to summon Goblin Biker Mean Merciless. You then overlay these two for Gabunga. Gabunga on summon will grab you a Dug Charger. You then go Dug Charger, detaching the Mean Merciless to summon itself. This effect will activate to add a Grand Entrance. You can then go activate Grand Entrance to search for, where is it? I grab I think it's the Clattersploder here. Am I thinking incorrectly? No, it is Clattersploder. You grab Clattersploder. Oh, some dropping cards here. You grab Clattersploder, and then the other material gets detached from Gabunga from the Grand Entrance to summon the Clattersploder, which then will activate to summon Mean Merciless back out. You can then overlay these two, and you either do your armor play or you do your Ghost Trick play. I like to do the Ghost Trick play first. So you do this, detach, grab Ghost Trick Shot, activate Shot, bring back Alucard, overlay for Angel, and then these two turn into the Utopia Future. Alucard triggers to add back Ghost Trick Shot. You then make Draco Future, and then you detach material off of Draco Future, summon back the Mean Merciless from grave, overlay these for Armor Torpedo, attach 2 to draw a card, summon Armor Fortress effect, search for Full Armored Xyz. You set Full Armored Xyz and you pass. This is just off of Tour Guide. Just off of Tour Guide you get this, which is actually nuts. That Tour Guide does this much for you now. Like literally off of 1 Tour Guide, I now have 6 cards. That is a +5. +5 off of 1 card. That's absolutely ridiculous. On top of that, the amount of interruptions that you have is also crazy. Keep in mind too, you have stuff in grave which can do stuff on your next turn too, which is even better. Yeah, like actually nuts because the Draco Future detaches, you negate, and then Kabunga can suck one of their cards up, and then you can go full armor Xyz on this, and then you banish this from grave to equip the Alucard to the Lancer, and then Lancer will suck one of their monsters up as material, which is like absolutely crazy because that's one negate plus a suck up. That's 2 interruptions, and then this suck up is a 3rd interruption. If they happen to out this and the Alucard goes, you add back the Angel of Mischief to your extra. And then, you know, if they don't clear anything else, well, let's say they clear the Kabunga, comes back to you. We drew an E-Telly. That's just like insane, absolutely insane. We can go Strict Shot. You bring back the Alucard. That's what's crazy about this. You can summon the Angel of Mischief. You can summon Mean Merciless from grave by detaching the material from this. This will activate to special this. This will activate to search. You grab... this is a tricky part. You can grab Grand Entrance, but it's not as good right now. It is good though. Like I don't know. It's a weird spot to be in. I mean, if you grab Grand Entrance, it doesn't get you where like you fully want it to, but it does do stuff. So I'm gonna grab the Grand Entrance. Overlay these for let's go with Kabunga. Kabunga will search. Let's grab Doug Charger. We can go E-Telly. Summon Nyan, which is really good. Nyan is actually insane in this deck. I haven't drawn E-Telly yet in any of the test hands, so I haven't gotten to show it off. But you can link the Angel and Nyan, make like SP. Obviously, if you banish one of their cards, you can't OTK them, so you might not want to banish their card. But you haven't used Doug Charger's summon from hand effect yet. Keep in mind this Doug Charger was summoned from Merciless. So you can detach to summon this, and then you can Grand Entrance to add a Boom Mock. And then as part of the Grand Entrance effect, you detach from this to summon this. And then you can overlay these two for like a Cicada King or something. If you play another, like obviously your extra deck is going to be, you know, whatever you make it. But yeah, like this is still like pretty good. And Kabunga, because you detach stuff, is also going to like take one of their cards. If they try and do like a monster effect, you can Draco Future, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot that can be done here. Like, I don't know, man. This deck is just, it seems really, really good. And the fact that nobody is playing it is kind of a shocker to me. I would have thought that more people would have jumped on this deck a whole lot more quickly. If this deck ever gets additional support in the future, this deck is just going to be like so ridiculously good. It's already like pretty ridiculous what it can do. I really can't speak enough about how much I enjoy this deck. This is just super fun, super fun to play. And like I said, like Tour Guide gets you crazy stuff off of one card. Yeah, I'll do one more test hand, and I think after that I'm gonna probably call it. I'm getting a little tired, and I've been talking a lot, so my throat is all dry now. All right, we drew the brick. Yay! I love drawing the brick. can go normal Nyan, special wielder, overlay, make Gabunga search for Doug Charger. Doug Charger effect. I don't detach the wielder. Well, yeah, don't detach the wielder. Summon the Nyan. Detach the Nyan. Because then you can go Doug Charger 1 Nyan 2, so that hits the board, and then you get to search for Grand Entrance. And then because we have the Ghost Trick Shot, it's probably not a good idea to make Alucard. So instead you can go Armor Torpedo, detach 2 and draw a card. Drew a second roll, great. Then you go Armor Fortress, detach, grab Full Armored Xyz. Then you can go Grand Entrance and grab the Clattersploder, which will then detach this with that effect, still summoning this. Clattersploder will revive the Doug Charger, and then these can get stacked for like a Cicada King or Cicada King or Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, like stuff like that. That would be, pretty good. And then, like I said, we drew the brick, so yeah, sure, it sucks sometimes, but it's gonna happen. It's the same thing if you draw like this card. You don't want to draw either of them. You could do either the Cicada King, or what you can do instead of Cicada King is you can go bash and make these into 6, and then you can make Evilsaur Lars, which, like, there's so many good spell cards right now and trap cards that it's probably a good idea to like make this. So what this gets us on our opponent's turn is that, I'm sorry, you have to set the Full Armor Xyz too. My bad. If they search, you draw them. Cool. Now they can't search. Now they have to play through this without searching. You can go like Lars to negate a spell trap, and then Gabunga can take one of their cards. Then you go Full Armor Xyz on Fortress to make this. And you can banish that to attach Torpedo, and then this will suck up another one of their cards. So, like, they can't do more than one search. We negated a spell card. We sucked up one of their monsters. We sucked up another one of their monsters. Like, it seems pretty good. Like, honestly, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, well, you're welcome, everyone, for kind of showing this stuff off. This deck is very fun. This is like what I'm looking forward to playing. There's a possibility that I would have played this in the regional if I had gone today, but like I said, I was up until like 3 in the morning last night. I get really, really bad pre-tournament anxiety, and I end up like building and taking apart, probably, like, I kid you not, probably like half a dozen decks the night before or the day of a tournament, and then I end up being up like super, super late, and it's not something that's good for me, because then I don't end up going because I just don't have anything assembled fully. So yeah, I just last night pre-tournament anxiety, and then built like 3 or 4 different decks. I was convinced that I was going to play Flandres for like an hour or 2. I was convinced that I was going to play this deck for a while. Then I started leaning towards the Shaddoll Invoke stuff that I was showing before too. I thought about playing Tyr. Yeah, I thought about playing Kashtira, even though I only have 2 copies of Wraitsoth. I almost played Vanquish Soul. Like, literally like a half a dozen decks. I sat there and was like, oh, like, I should play this, I should play that. And then I just ended up being up until like 2:45, 3 in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I'm not getting up to go and play in a regional tomorrow morning because I don't have anything together and I don't want to be playing on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. So yeah, but I will hopefully be going to like local soon to play with this deck because this deck is super fun. As you can see, I've got like most of the combo lines kind of just down to a science. There are a couple things I want to add, but yeah, I'm going to do like a full in-depth deck profile on this. Obviously, everyone just kind of saw on the stream how I play it. But yeah, I'll do more, and it'll be nice. Yeah, it'd be great to see more like BA support. This is kind of like BA support. It's like modern day BA, but whatever. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the stream that tuned in to watch. And yeah, I'm gonna try and do streams a little more often, I guess. I don't mind doing this. I actually almost prefer it over making videos at this point. Because it's a little more personal. And if people have questions, they can ask me questions and things like that. But yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed watching. And if you did, obviously, like, give everything a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe. I significantly appreciate it. And it is enjoyable being able to show all the fun stuff. We got to talk about day one of the UDS. We got to talk about how Shaddoll Fusion is a crazy card against Fire Kings. And I got to show test hands with Goblin Bikers too, which I didn't even have planned. I was honestly going to talk about the UDS, do test hands with Shaddoll invoked, and that's it. But if everybody enjoyed this, I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it, and I hope to see all of your lovely profile pictures and messages soon. So yeah, everybody enjoy the rest of your night and get some rest. Go to sleep. Don't be like me.